Some of you may already know that I used to be a cruise specialist selling cruises to thousands and thousands of passengers. And one of the main questions that I was always asked was, Holly, which cabin would you recommend? And Holly, is there any particular cabin you would avoid? So this week is the ultimate guide to choosing your perfect cabin on P&O Cruises Arvia. So please watch right through to the end, where you'll get many tips which will help before you book. Not everybody wants to choose their cabin in advance, but if you do and you want to know what cabin you're in, then this video is for you. My name is Holly Crabtree and welcome to my channel, Holidays at Sea. Right, so let's get started on deck 4. Now deck 4 is the lowest passenger deck on Arvia. A lot of people say that this deck is a really quiet deck to be on, and I can see why, because you've got cabins above you. Really good deck to be on is deck 4. Now deck 4 is filled with larger insides and ocean views and some accessible cabins. Just to give you a note on the size of the cabins, inside cabins start at 134 square foot. If you want a bit larger inside cabin, then you can go for an OA grade. The larger inside cabins are the dark blue, they're at 190 square foot. And then the ocean views are 210 square foot. Now the ocean views are really quite large because the balcony cabins are only coming in at 190 square foot. So the ocean views at 210 square foot are quite big, which is really good. Now the accessible cabins, you're looking at 307 square foot. So as we go along this deck, there's just a couple of cabins probably that I would point out, or areas that I would make you aware of. But like I say, as far as I can see, a really good deck to be on. So when you're choosing your cabin, if you are choosing your cabin deck 4, maybe just highlight there's midship, there's boarding areas on port side and starboard side. May possibly avoid those 4 cabins surrounding the boarding areas: 4512, 4518, 4517, 4523. So maybe avoid those just on port days when people are getting off the ship early. Move a little bit forward. We've got a laundrette, which is so good. Laundrette on every single deck, which is fantastic. Cabin numbers. Possibly the one next cabin adjoining the laundrette, maybe number 4466. Laundrette can be quite busy at certain times of the day, and lots of chit chat going on. So maybe just be aware of that cabin 4466, which adjoins the laundrette. Now, if we carry on further, then to the forward side of deck 4, as we know, a lot of the time we always say it's best to have a cabin above and below you. Now on deck 4 forward, if you look on starboard side, you've got the gym above you. Now with cabins under the gym, now this is standard mainly on many cruise ships that passengers have said to me in the past they don't want to be under the gym for many reasons. Now I'll be honest with you, I haven't stayed under the gym, so I haven't got any personal evidence of that, but passengers have told me in the past, Holly, please choose me a cabin, but I don't want to be under the gym. Maybe the thought process, the gym opens at 6 AM with the dance classes, etc. If there is any vibration, will these cabins feel it? If you do like the gym, these are a perfect location. You literally come out of your cabin, you're right by the stairs, and then one flight up, you're in the gym. So there could be a really good location if you do want to get up in the morning and go and enjoy the facilities. Okay, so I'll leave that with you to make an informed decision, but just so you're aware. Welcome to deck 5. Now deck 5 is mainly balcony cabins and ocean view cabins on deck 5. Now just be aware that the balcony cabins are shaded. As you can see from the photograph, they are enclosed, but a lot of people like these because they're quite private. Now normally you want cabins above you, cabins below you, but these cabins are under deck 6, which is the entertainment area. It's surprising how many people actually like to be in these cabins on deck 5 because they are quiet and the balconies are private. So I think this is a really good deck to be on. The only cabins that I would probably think about would be the 4 cabins that are directly under 710 Club. 710 Club, as you know, is a live band on going on to the early hours of the morning. So it's on starboard side, midship, and with cabin numbers of 5501, 5507, 5509 and 5017. But yeah, a really good deck to be on. Welcome to Deck 8. Now I think Deck 8 has been the most talked about deck since Iona launched in 2021. I think the question was initially when people booked the cabins on Deck 8, people looking into their cabins. Well, of course, all these cabins have all got frosted glass. So I think unless you're well over 6 foot tall, then you won't be able to see into somebody's balcony. I guess the question I asked myself though is what kind of a view I would like when I'm sat on my balcony. If you can imagine when you're sat on your balcony, many people have said to me that they want a clear view. So they want to be able to sit on their balcony and look through a glass fronted balcony and be able to see the sea. If that is the kind of balcony that you're looking for, or mini suite that you're looking for, then I would really recommend a higher deck for you as well. Also, just to be aware that some of the cabins on Deck 8 are overlooked by Deck 9. Here is a photograph of cabin number 8306, so you can see the view that the cabin above 9306 will have of your balcony. Okay, but other than that, a great location because you're surrounded by the whole entertainment area, so a good choice. Welcome to Deck 9. Now this deck is a full passenger deck filled with balconies, superior deluxe balconies and mini suites. The balconies start at 190 square foot, superior deluxe balconies are 229 square foot and the mini suites are 274 square foot. If you do fancy splashing out on a conservatory mini suite, then you do have a lot more space, and goodness me, they are beautiful. Now I just want to start with Deck 9. Now cabins on Deck 9 aft above the clubhouse. Now the clubhouse is open till 11:30 most nights, but some passengers above the clubhouse in the insides and the balconies have said there has been occasional vibration. So it's just to make you aware of that if you like to go to bed early. Cabins at the back on Deck 9, beautiful located cabins, amazing sunsets. They're called sunset veranda cabins. They're absolutely beautiful, but you are overlooking the sunset bar, so you've got the canopy right underneath you, which I'll add pictures on here, but this wouldn't put me off at all. Beautiful views if you manage to get a cabin at the back of the ship on Deck 9. Many people have been overjoyed to be on Deck 9 and I couldn't agree with them more because the advantage of being Deck 9, it's just one deck down, so you don't need to wait for the lifts, just one flight of stairs and that will take you to the entertainment and dining venues on Deck 8, Deck 7 and Deck 6. So brilliantly located deck in my opinion. Welcome to Deck 10, Deck 11 and Deck 12. Now these decks are passenger decks and they have got balcony cabins, superior balcony cabins and also corner suites as well. These decks are very much sought after, Deck 10, Deck 11 and Deck 12, and the reason that is because they've got on each of those decks you've got cabins above you and cabins below you. There is a couple of things that I really want to highlight on all three of these decks. In fact, you'll even find this on Deck 9. There are certain cabins on these decks that have an extended balcony and they are absolutely fantastic. So if you can get a cabin that has got one of the extended balconies, then you've really got a beautiful balcony, but they do go quick, so you've got to be quick to get them. For example, on Deck 10, we've got 10245 and 10238. So really good cabins to get. On the other side of the coin, you've got the cabins next door to that, 10247 and 10240. Now those balconies aren't extended, and what happens is, because they're not extended, because the cabin to your left is an extended balcony, it just means it blocks your view to the left. You've still got a lovely clear view, a really nice balcony, but you just can't look to the left because the balcony next door you has got a bigger extended balcony. These cabins would be so good though if you were travelling together as a family or if you were sailing with a group of friends. I just wanted to point out as well that all the cabins at the front of each passenger deck are also metal fronted. But yes, some really lovely cabins, and like I say, do look out for those with the extended balcony because they are at no extra cost in that particular grade. Now deck 14, this isn't cabins to avoid, this is cabins to recommend because the aft cabins are amazing. In fact, all the aft cabins are really good. Now they are all overlooked and you'll be able to see from the photograph, but the location, the view you've got of the ocean, the wonderful sunsets, and you've got the aft cabins in standard balcony cabins in the GD grade, you've got the ED Superior Deluxe balcony cabins, and you've also got corner suites as well, either the B4 grades or the B5. So if you are looking to book a cabin, then I would very much recommend the aft cabins on deck 10, 11, 12 and 14. Welcome to deck 15. Now deck 15 is my favourite deck of all of them. We've all got our favourite areas of the ship we like to be on, but I like deck 15 because you're literally just a hop, skip and a jump up to deck 16 where you've got the horizon court and the infinity pool. Stayed on deck 15 on Iona and I was an inside cabin midship and I was underneath the sky dome. Now I did worry about the noise element in the sky dome being right underneath it, and yes, being totally honest, I did hear some slight noise, but I would definitely stay in that cabin again and that location. It was so lovely because you just came out of the cabin, you went up the stairs and then you've got horizon court, so I just used to get me coffee in the morning and go and sit in the sky dome area, floor to ceiling windows, and watch the world go by early morning. And you've also got the infinity pool as well at the back. So I absolutely loved it. Just a few things to point out is that if you are aft on deck 15, you will have a slight overhang from deck 16 above you, and also you've got the Horizon buffet restaurant above you as well. Some passengers don't like to be underneath the buffet restaurant for the fear of any noise element from chairs and tables from 7 AM in the morning. So it's just to be aware. Welcome to deck 16, Lido deck. Now with this particular deck, all the cabins are at the front of the ship because midship you've got the Sky Dome, Horizon Restaurant and then the Infinity Pool. This is again another really good deck to be on because if you can imagine you're in a balcony cabin, you want a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, you just come out of your cabin. You could still be in your pyjamas if you wanted. Just walk across Sky Dome, you're straight into the horizon, grab your coffee, go sit on your balcony, happy days. So a really good location. On port side on the front, there are cabins from 16206 maybe to 16228, underneath Epicurean restaurant. You're not going to really get much noise at all, if any, from Epicurean above you, so I wouldn't really be concerned about that. But it is a really good deck to be on. If you suffer from really bad seasickness, then just be aware I would probably book a cabin that is a little bit further down the decks. So for example, deck 9, 10, 11, 12. Being on 16, if there is any swell, because sometimes it can happen, you will feel it more the higher up you are. So just bear that in mind. But other than that, a fabulous deck. I just want to point out that these cabin choices are my own personal recommendations. But the key to booking your cabin in advance is to do your research. For example, if you suffer from really bad seasickness, then you wouldn't book a cabin which was high up at the front. If, for example, you wanted privacy in your balcony, you wouldn't go for a cabin that is overlooked. And if you wanted to sit on your balcony and appreciate the sunshine, then you wouldn't want an overhang above your head. So please do your research. And for anybody who is booked on Arvia, then you are going to have an amazing time and enjoy your cruise and enjoy your cabin when you get on board. if you would like to see more about Arvia, then I have a question and answer session for anybody who is new to P&O Cruises and also new to Arvia. Just click on this link and play the video and I'll see you there.